Sweetie Snacks here at Burger King. It's review time. Ty, it's the only person here who's played Assassin's Creed. You go first. How'd you find the movie?
It was alright. It's alright for a standalone movie. It was okay for an Assassin's Creed movie. Like, they focused too much.
So, like, if it was just called, like, Apple or something.
I mean, it wasn't even Assassin's Creed related. It would have been a good movie. Like, they focused too much on the outside world instead of the inside.
Yeah. This is our spoiler-free review right now, so.
Well, then, I can't talk anymore.
You can't talk about anything else in the movie? Like,
oh.
Okay.
Wait. No. Wait. And the time they spent inside the Animus was, like, wasn't too short, but I think they could have gone a lot longer.
Yeah, and you were saying it was weird because it takes place during the Spanish Inquisition. Because
they would not stop talking Spanish the entire movie.
I mean, like, even there were like flashback scenes that weren't like part of the Animus, where they talk in Spanish, but it's in the Animus.
It's not like they didn't do subtitles, guys. You shouldn't complain about that.
Yeah,
it's like 30% of the movie was subtitled.
There's definitely some plot holes, like what the plan of the people doesn't make a total sense. I mean, like,
I might be stupid, but I don't think the plot made very much sense.
If you just like sit back and you just take in this story, you're fine. If you start to think about it at all, the quality in your mind goes down a little bit.
Callum Lynch seems like he was right-handed the whole movie, yet when he held the ball, he held it in a way that would suggest he was left-handed.
What? What?
Are you serious?
Yeah, that minorly
Are you serious?
that minorly bothers me, but I'm just joking.
I found myself like, maybe it's because I watched the CinemaSins episode a few days ago, but I found myself like being like really critical. Like, overall, I think this movie was good. There's a lot of movies that are worse.
Yeah,
like
true.
Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad. I'd argue that this could be at the same level as Marvel's the Civil War movie.
That was
same
a great
level.
That was a great movie.
I feel like
I wouldn't say same level.
I don't know.
I don't say not. I'm not gonna say far behind, but it's like
I think it had a good climax. This movie. I guarantee you've seen a worse movie within 2 years. I'd say wait for DVD.
it's not a bad movie, but like it's not amazing.
Can I?
It's the first. I think it's one of the first good video game movies.
It is one of the first. I was going to say first.
If you've ever seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie, oh god, if you actually have that is sad. You should not have actually, seen that.
Consider Suicide. I would say this movie is like a prequel to every single Assassin's Creed.
Let's go on to the spoiler part. If you haven't seen the movie and you still want to, stop watching.
I played Black Flag.
Can I please speak?
Sorry, yeah.
I think it was kind of ineffective to make Abstergo seem like a gray shade. Because, I mean, if they want to take away all your freedom, how can you honestly think, like, okay, they're doing it for a good cause?
I didn't see them as gray places.
Well, no, they were trying to be like, we will eliminate violence and, like, there'll be no more war, and, like...
The point was, like, overall, they just wanted to control the world. They wanted to be rulers. It's not like they were trying to convince other people that they were, like, in a gray area so they could manipulate people.
I only played one. I played Black Flag. That one was really good. But
I think... Oh, yeah, go.
The thing is, I think in this movie, they made Abstergo sound way, way worse than they actually are. Because in the actual... Well, I think this is for a couple of different Assassin's Creed. Well, Abstergo in Black Flag is a game company. Well, they're trying to make a game off the memories of your ancestor. So you go back at the memory.
And that game is called Assassin's Creed.
No, it's like it's some stupid title like Assassin Pirates. I don't remember. It was something super stupid.
Assassin Pirates.
I guess. Or like Pirates of the Sea or something.
Pirates of the Sea.
What are they? The Pirates of Space? Oh my god, Space Pirates.
They're making it sound way more evil. The Abstergo does have like dark side. Like a dark side.
I think with the assassins, like they kind of like portrayed them as, like
a cult almost.
Not a cult, just like a group of people got together, like, hey, let's stop them from taking over the Apple of Eden.
Like a vigilante group.
Yeah, they seem more like
I'm just going off of what I know from the game theory. that was like the main point of that Game Theory episode about the Ubisoft shared universe. They seem to be in the games like more like superheroes or like metahumans. If you watch like the DC shows, like people with special abilities and powers who like were made to protect the apple.
Yeah.
And I don't think they went into. I wanted to see the apple work, just because like
It was pretty cool.
it was like glowing and stuff. I'm like, okay, so how is this gonna work?
No, if the apple did work, Joe, then they would basically like not be able to do anything because then their free will would be gone,
But it'd be cool to see.
and they wouldn't be able to.
No,
do anything
okay.
and the plot would be over.
Or like even just like a flashback, like this is like the first time, like back to like history times.
This guy
like,
was using it and then he dropped it and we won.
yeah. No, like my point is that I don't understand how that would work, but I wanted to see that.
to
But
kind of
unfortunately-
understand how it would work.
Fortunately, got right there.
That's not. It wasn't.
Goddamn
It
assassins.
wasn't unfortunate.
Well, unfortunately for me, because I wanted to see how it worked. If Cal picked it up and started using it, I'd be like, whatever. But like, their plan was kind of stupid. It was like, okay, let's
go.
start here, then work all the way up to the point where we last know the apple was. It's like, what? Why not just? They knew they could have skipped that first time in the Animus and just gone straight to the part where he's being executed. Which, by the way, was dumb, but I'll go into that later. Well, like, why didn't they just skip to the part where they would actually know? Because they were on a schedule, they were on a clock, they were trying to hurry up, but yet they couldn't, like, move
The
forward.
first part of the Animus is to see if he was okay, like if he could,
Handle it.
if
Yeah.
he could handle it, or you know what I mean? Like a test run almost.
It was like
Okay.
test runs before.
But then every time after that, other than the one bit makes no sense.
Yeah.
When the Animus broke, it made no sense.
Yeah,
the way
that-
other people could see the memories made no sense.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Why the Animus looked like a stripped off GLaDOS made no sense.
Oh wait, can I just get back to the part where the plan of the Templars back in the Spanish Revolution? They're like, okay, we'll kidnap
Spanish
the princess.
Inquisition.
We'll kidnap the prince, and then they'll give us the apple.
Boy.
But they were like, let's stop and execute these meaningless people rather than just keep them in like a prison or execute them quietly without a big crowd in an open area that they can like run away.
True.
And like why didn't they do that afterwards? Why didn't they're like wanting this apple so much that they stopped to have a public execution? Like, and then like,
Joe, the assassins would have gotten in their way if they hadn't tried to execute.
and also I thought it was kind of dumb how like he jumped off the tower and then like, oh, it's done. We're like,
No, it was because he would have died. So when they said you got desynchronized, that's what it says when you die in the. When you die in the game, you're desynchronized.
okay,
So when
Okay.
when he's about to die, he gets desynchronized and gets pulled out of the thing.
right. But he survived.
No, that's why. No, the guy he was as
Yeah.
wouldn't have survived the fall. So that's why he was
Right.
desynchronized.
Right. So they.
It would have. Even in the game, if you jumped off like a super high ledge and fell.
Yeah.
Lands in hay.
Even before you hit the ground, you would have died. It would have been like, oh no, you'd synchronized because there's no way you're gonna possibly survive that.
It just seemed like
What about a hay basket
if-
though?
Well, that's a different thing. It's a hay basket.
It protects you from all falls.
he didn't die. So why did he desynchronize? Because they
Yeah.
thought he would die. But it looked like it was like a thing that like automatically happened. It wasn't like they were like, oh no, we gotta pull him out. He's gonna die.
Yeah. But either way, his body still wasn't handling it. Then, like when he fell and then stopped, that still like sent his body like
Alright.
so that
Yeah, but what if he kept going? Do you think he would have been better? Like,
he would have died and he
what
would
is
have.
when you get thrown forward and then like stop? That's what happens in a car crash. It's called whiplash.
It did
Do
go
you
like
think he suffered those effects because of the animus combined with whiplash?
no, I think he fell and instead of it going like stop, I think it was like slow down like really fast, like immense braking, not like stop. It was like stop, like it was like slow. It was a fast but slow stop.
So you mean they came to a stop instead of just an immediate halt?
Yeah.
You could have just said that.
Why? Words.
Can I just say it's a little weird that like the character, the short dark hair, the doctor, who was that?
That girl. Yeah, I know who you mean.
Marion Cotillard's character, I think.
Okay. The doctor lady, like she's the
She is
son,
Sophie.
she's the daughter, I don't know, the daughter of like the emperor,
CEO.
Templar emperor, and like the CEO of Abstergo. It's like, what? So this person
Is it Abstergo?
had a child with his boss, and then like had her work in his like lab, where she would have to report to him, her dad, and her mom. What?
It's family business.
Could they not have just made it like one person, like, oh, it's like either Jeremy Irons' character's son or Queen Templar person's son or daughter,
Those
whatever.
Of you, I don't think any of you do, but I think those of you who do know me and are at my school, parts of that movie, the main character looks so much like Mr. Not gonna drop any names. If you know who my math teacher is, he looks.
I'm cutting all this out. This is the stupidest tangent ever. No one's gonna know who your math teacher is.
If someone I know watches us, it'll be
Okay,
like,
fine. So the guy looked like your math teacher, and that was just irritating because you were just mad at him like pi equals 3.145. It was just like flipping off a building. It was like Pythagorean theorem: a squared plus b squared equals c squared.
It's like, no. I was about to say his.
I just multiplied
I
my
was about to say
body
his
count by
name.
2.
I was like, wait. So you know his first name is Philip.
Why do you know that?
That's honest ID badge. I said
They left. The ending was weird. They're like. What they should have done, the last scene featuring the doctor lady,
Yeah.
should have been the first scene of the next movie, if they're going to have a next movie. They probably are, because it's Hollywood. But they shouldn't have, like, left it like that. It's a little weird. Or put it at the end credit. It just seemed weird to have that scene plopped in between the climax and, like, the conclusion. It seemed a bit, like, anticlimactic, especially considering the movie was so short. I figured, like, she was going to go after him.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, well, there goes my dad.
And,
Bummer.
And then, like, they're just all standing on the roof, and then he's, like, jump. And for the third
Cut.
time, we watch him jump off of an incredibly high ledge and not know how he survives. That's just such a cop-out.
He didn't survive the last time, though. The first time when they pulled him out of the Animus, it's not that he would have survived. He would have died. That's why.
But then he continued to live, though. He survived the execution, went on to get the apple.
You know why? Because it's kind of like the respawn. Like, if you get desynchronized.
It's not about, like, the Animus. In history, that guy jumped off the building, survived, went on to fight more stuff, and jump off of another high building. My point...
That didn't happen in history because he was...
Yeah, it did. The Animus just plays you through your memories. You don't control any of it. No?
Yes.
Not in this movie's story. You didn't control any of it. Remember, the first thing she said was like, you can't change what happens.
Yeah, they were all going back just to find out what happened in history.
Yeah.
Why they even... Oh my god.
That's even the plot of the Assassin's
They
Creed
didn't
games.
know
You just
what
control it, and what you do is like chronologically
History.
what history was.
That's
So I like throw a bunch of rocks at dogs. Oh my god, that's what he did in history.
Yep.
He just runs up and shoves people out of the way. Oh, that happened.
My point is, it was a bit of a cop-out not to show how any of that happened. Because, like it or not, he did survive.
Yeah.
Okay? I understand that like you're trying to put it in the video game sense, but this movie definitely tried to step away from the video games a little bit and create a story of its own.
That's the thing, though. If you make a video game movie based off a video game, it can never be as good as the video game because when you play the video game,
It's immersive.
You get the feeling of playing a video game.
Yeah.
That's part of it. So you have to. You have to make it a movie and not a video game movie.
If they
You have
try to make it
a
as
movie.
much like the video game as possible, like, I think they could have done so much more. Like, I guess they're trying to go on their own story, but still, like,
I thought it was kind of weird how when like he went crazy, that was definitely
that. I literally leaned over to Chris like, me in 10 years.
Oh God. I thought it was because he said.
Just because of how insane he was, I'm like, that's gonna be me.
So, okay, let's talk about what they did well. Action scenes, definitely good. The parkour, I know you were saying the parkour was like iffy. It was like a lot of just like jumping
It
around.
didn't look that difficult. Some of it was kind of like...
When they ran on the ropes, I mean, that doesn't
That
really
was
seem that
pretty insane,
That doesn't
right?
really seem all that possible, but
Why
you know,
didn't- why
I guess
did-
it could work.
Jump from rope to rope, that was pretty cool.
Why did the guy bring the horse onto the roof? That was just dumb. He could have just like climbed up there on a ladder or staircase, or something, but he's like, no, gotta bring the horse.
Okay,
Because
not
horses
saying...
are sick.
Not throughout the entire movie, they had this big eagle. First of all, I didn't even think the eagles could get that big Second of all, it was in
You're really
Spain,
stupid if you don't think that eagle.
then Mexico, and then
It's not the same eagle,
America.
probably. Probably not the
It
same.
looked like the same.
Probably the same species of
Yeah.
eagle.
Okay, and then
Or
they
a
were like
similar.
the spirit of the eagle will protect you. I wish they delved into that a little more. They definitely had time to. I think
Joe
they should-
didn't get it because he didn't play the games.
Well, I enjoyed the movie nonetheless.
Also, every time you're on a high ledge to jump off into a hay bale or one of those leap of faith moments, an eagle always flies around, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna jump now. But oh, they didn't even go into eagle vision.
That's true. I thought that was. I thought they hinted at that when like he was lying down, dying, and like you could see like surroundings and like like landscapes. I thought that was what you could see as the eagle. Again, I feel like the lore needs to be delved into a little more, but
Oh, I think I knew what I mean. Like, in the very beginning when he's about to go into the Animus, like when he's about to get entered, it's like,
no. Oh, true. That's also another
That would
example. I'm
make
talking about when
sense.
he dies. He sees like random events in life and random like areas like
Oh,
of
no.
the world, like
Eagle,
landscapes,
I thought
and
eagle
like
vision
just like
was like
flashing lights.
binoculars or see-through walls.
no. So eagle vision, it kind of like outlines enemies and it outlines cover. And
So like visor in the ODST game.
Sort of, and it does that, and then when you go out of it, it keeps them highlighted so you can see them through walls and stuff. So that would have been really, I mean, it would have been hard to kind of explain or use in the movie, but like, it would have been, it definitely was it's a big part of the game they
Okay.
should have put in.
I'm saying what they did good. Fight scenes, the overall story was very like dragged you into like what was happening, and there was a lot of mystery. You're trying to figure out what's happening. I thought that was good. The acting was good. I really liked the performances of the.
I love the
main
insane
characters.
bits. That was my favorite part of the movie. Started singing for no
Singing.
reason.
Like the way they were able to get across like some of the lore, like the assassins and the Templars, like that.
Yeah.
The Apple of Eden, like all of that was very good. How they were able to deliver that quickly. And we're trying to think if there was anything else that's significantly good. It had yeah, it was good. What bad things were like the parkour seemed like a little drawn out. Sometimes they seemed like they were drawing out the fight scenes a little bit.
It's not that they were drawing out the parkour, like, I think all the parkour was needed, but it was, again,
Not hard.
not hard, because literally they're like, oh man, look at us, we're doing parkour, it's awesome, but they're just really jumping for random bits.
Yeah.
Like, they're jumping across a building, and that's really it, and all they're doing next bit is just climbing like a ladder or something.
Jumping and climbing.
And then, but there was
Oh,
one
I
bit
did-
that looked challenging, where they're jumping from like one side like that. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think
What-
parkour's a lot harder than you think it is, Ty.
That one was definitely not hard. They were just jumping. It would have been tiring. It's
Okay.
good their endurance, but like, come on.
One of my complaints with the Animus, it doesn't seem like it could physically work. Because he's running forward, but he doesn't run out of room. I feel like it would have worked better if he had like a treadmill or something. And the thing that lifted him up, like attached. Because he's running around the room, but the events take place in a much bigger area, like a huge,
Outside.
like a city of Spain.
All right, I think we've kind of just about covered
Also,
it.
also
I
the,
thought it was, yeah, go ahead.
the whole bit where, like you said, they could see the memories, like with the, like the holographic sort of thing. I thought that was kind of stupid.
Yeah, why is that there? Why can everybody see that? I thought that was just to be a visual representation as to what he was doing. But no,
Yeah.
everybody could see that.
I thought it was dumb that like at the end he gives the apple to someone who isn't even an assassin. He's a friend of the Creed. Like, how can you trust that with anyone except like
The Creed.
He was probably a friend. He was probably a pretty good friend of
And
the Creed.
also, they're trying to keep it away from the Templars who are in Spain. So let's bring it
Move
back
away
to Spain.
from Spain.
Yeah, but then it ends up coming back. He wouldn't like be like that box. Don't take it back to Spain. Bury it, or like why didn't he bury it somewhere? Why didn't he give it to the Aztecs or anything?
Go into like the middle of the ocean and bury it in the ocean.
Just like-
Why not destroy it?
Or just go out into the ocean, go onto a pier, palm it.
Onto a pier.
Alright.
When you're like on the side of the boat, just like, well,
Go into the middle of the
I
ocean.
just invented baseball. And he pitches it. Oh,
Who's out?
strike out.
You're
That's the missing page of his journal where he invents baseball.
Remember how towards the end when he actually broke the animus, where
Yeah.
that,
And then he still had his memories and all that because of the neural chip. That was
that
like,
wasn't even a memory.
no,
It was supposed to be just a real thing. I'm like, well then how?
that was not explained at all.
Well, like
that
the
could
animus
possibly
broke,
work
so like
ever.
I thought like the energy, like when it broke, like it like dissipated. It was like still there, and that's why they could still see it.
Well,
I
no.
didn't understand how like the lights worked.
So I understand.
At all.
I understand
So-
what I think the lights were like the holographic stuff.
But that's just they're lights. They're not like projectors. They're just lights.
All
I
right. Well,
think. Wait, I'm not done. The thing with the end, like we were talking about the holograms at the very end where they're surrounding him. That was kind of
A little weird.
It was a little odd.
I feel like they could have explained what was happening there a little more.
Yeah, because what happened was that's basically him getting accepted into the creed, but like completely unexplained way. Like he broke the animus. Everything's busted because he did a leap of faith, which is what you do all the time.
The fact that you were able to do the fact that you were able to see the part where he gives the apple to Christopher Columbus is a miracle.
Yeah. But what happened was he broke it, right? He broke it, but holographics worked. But the holographic stuff worked on its own level, like self-aware, because it didn't go on his memories. It just went off in like, hey,
No, I think the holograph goes off his brain. So his brain was creating the scenario where everyone was there, but
accepting him into the creed. So he's like, okay, I actually want to be in it for realsies.
you know what would have explained it?
What?
First of all, what would have explained it is if they went into the lore more and it was like showed how everyone had these connections with like through the Creed brother line because they all had these special abilities. They didn't go into that enough.
They didn't have abilities. It was just like
They
fine.
they had like they could run faster. They had strength. They could do like parkour. They had like all the abilities that would give you like parkour and killing. Chris, rating out of 10.
7. Nope, 6.
6.5.
I'm gonna go with that too.
Gonna give it a 7. Gonna go out on a limb here. 7 seems good.
All right, Mr.
So
Daredevil.
overall, worth it to buy a DVD or rent it from
Yeah,
Redbox.
don't go to the theater and spend money.
No, the theater actually provided a nice environment. If you go to the theater, don't like hype it up as like the best movie. Go there just because you want to see some like action.
Yeah.
Don't see it in 3D.
It's not meant to be a theatrical masterpiece, and I think everyone's kind of trying to crack it up like it is. So
Probably the best video game movie yet. I have high
No, I wouldn't
hopes.
say best, but like it's,
we didn't actually.
The best video game movie.
yeah.
Does
Can
anybody
you name
seen-
one better video game movie?
Does it-
Okay.
All right, we should
So yeah,
let's wrap this up.
it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.